Hello guys, welcome to ESL TV for the ESL. No, not the ESL. Well, it kind of is on ESL, but the RaidCall EMS 1. I'm used to call it the ESL Major Series. That's my real problem. I suppose it's technically the RaidCall ESL Major Series 1.
Yes.
So I was half right, half getting there. And we're obviously moving into the group stages. Group A coming our way today. I'm joined here by the lovely Paul Challoner.
Oh, thank you. Lovely today, is it? I think I'm a bit quiet, by the way.
Well, I feel like we both are, actually.
I think we probably are. Yeah, thanks very much.
There we go.
Yeah, that's a bit better. Yeah, Scoots is already shooting at you, by the way, for messing up. That's nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's crazy. Nice of him.
I've seen his production last week. He wasn't all perfect, Scoots.
Right back at you, Mr. Smith. Yes, RaidCall EMS 1. We are in the playoffs. Yay! It's been like 5 weeks since we started out in the RaidCall EMS 1 with Cup 1 all those many moons ago with those people that we don't talk about anymore because they got kicked out. And then we moved on, and we had 3 more cups in between as well. And we're now at the playoff stages. The top 16 teams from the rankings, now in 4 groups of 4. And we had some crazy stuff on the RaidCall channel the back end of last week where the 4 groups were drawn, and then the top teams were allowed to switch around a roue. And they did switch around a roue. The last team to do the switcheroo thing was NiP, which they decided to choose Group A, which in theory makes that the easiest group. But easiest group for them, not necessarily the easy group.
I think it's really hard to call what is the easy group, to be honest. We can actually take a bit of a look here at Group A and B, which obviously we're going to be focusing on here. This week around Group A, of course, is NiP, Nexus Alternate, and MyXMG Esports, formerly known as FaZe.
And then before that,
Wizards.
Yeah.
They actually, the team here that have not won a single game.
They haven't, but I want to put this into context, because someone else said to me about this a couple of days ago. How can Wizards get through? Well, the reason they can get through is because they played in the ESL Major Series last season before it became the RaidCall EMS 1, and they finished in the top 8, which meant that they automatically got a bye into the second round when we got to RaidCall EMS 1. That's how it works. Previous season you do well and get rewarded into the next season. So that's why they got the bye, which then gave them the 10 ranking points. But to be fair to them, just listen to the 4 matches they had in their opening round. Week 1, Epsilon, winners of one of the cups. Week 2, Team Alternate, EPS champions in Germany. Week 3, Very Games, winner of one of the cups. Fnatic, Week 4, winner of one of the cups. So that's a pretty tough first round game for anyone, let alone Wizards.
Well, Group B as well is LDLC, Kick, ESC, Absolute Legend. I think that's one of the harder groups, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree. I think Group B is for me, it's the group of death. I mean, I think you could probably argue that D is pretty tough as well, but I think there are 3 clear favourites in that group to go through of the 2. The same with Group C as well. But Group B, for me, is the group of death, mainly because we've seen flashes of brilliance from Absolute Legends. We've seen flashes of brilliance in the RaidCall EMS 1 this season from Kick Esports. We've also seen ESC on a high at times as well, although they've been mediocre in parts of this in terms of the cups as well. And, of course, LDLC, who are the only team right now to have reached 2 of the RaidCall EMS 1 finals, losing both of them, unfortunately, in Cup 3 and Cup 4. So, for me, that's a really tough group. It's hard to call which 2 would go through.
Yeah, and obviously today we're going to be focusing all in on Group A. And our first game, Ninjas in Pajamas versus Alternate, which, you know, Ninjas in Pajamas, they're the clear favourite here for Group A. There's no real denying that one. I think second and third, the second position, obviously, is top 2 that go through to the LAN finals, which will be here in Cologne. I think that second spot is really open. And Nexus, Alternate, you know, even Wizards, even though they've not won a game up until now, they could actually pull off some surprises and say, we've not won until now, we've just been saving our energy.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I mean, I think, you know, the old Wizards team XMG as they are now, I think they're a surefire bet to finish bottom of the group, I think, in everyone's eyes. So depending on what happens in their first game, will sort of dictate where we go tonight, because we're going to give you the first game is going to be NiP versus Alternate. The world champions against last year's EPS German champions, which we thought would be the better matchup for the first game. The next game, for me, is the pivotal game, because it will be Alternate versus a Nexus, and really, you'd fancy both of those to beat the old Wizards team and notch up at least 1 win, which makes that the decider for the group. So we'll have to see how that one works out. But I think for me, that's the critical game of the 3. And then when we get to match 3, we'll figure out all the computations as to who can go through and who can't, and then bring you the most interesting game for the final game.
I'm just messing around a little bit there with the volume, so hopefully we didn't just blow your ears off. But basically, some little bleeder has been pissing around with my mixer here.
Really?
Which, they come in here, they do LCS in the weekends.
I don't know.
And
Those
because
LCS
they're like,
people.
ooh, look at this, there's loads of funky sliders and stuff. We better move all these buttons around. Damn guy, I'm gonna put cling film over it next week.
It's those LCS guys.
Yeah, them scumbags.
Aren't you LCS?
I'm a little bit worried because they've put all the cables under my desk. Like, there's literally 1,000 cables under my feet. There's in fact a cable that's not even plugged in there.
I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 8 cables not plugged into something. I'm mildly worried.
Well,
hang on. No, my mouse works. I'm all good.
Hopefully that doesn't mean bad stuff to come. Let's have a look, see what the admins say about the teams. It looks like we're almost ready to go with this one.
Okay.
So I'm going to tell them we're ready.
All right. Well, it's also worth pointing out, of course, that this first game, NiP versus Alternate, they've already met twice in the RaidCall EMS 1. They met in week 1, where Alternate went down 16-9, and then in week 2, in Cup 2, they didn't fare much better, actually going down 16-5. So 2 out of 2 for NiP. Is this going to be 3 for the win? I think it might be, but stranger things have happened, and NiP have already lost twice in this Cup season, which is more times than they lost in 2012 entirely. So
online.
I know. I'm just,
But this is where it really starts. Yes, the cups were important. There was prize money and these points to get through to this stage. But honestly, they didn't mean anything really compared to what we've got here on the line, because the system is completely different. It's one night, 3 games. If you mess up tonight, then you're not going to be at those LAN finals with a chance of winning all that prize money.
You're right, and I tell you what, this is the sort of night where NiP are focused. They're not going to mess up tonight. This is the kind of night where they go, okay, lads, we need 2 out of 3 wins, but actually let's focus on getting 100% of the wins, and it will take care of itself. It will make a difference as well for the LAN finals as to where they will play. So they will play an easier team, in theory, if they win the group. So they've got to go for the win, and I don't doubt there'll be anything else. For me, as I said earlier, I think the second matchup with Alternate and Nexus is going to be the group decider as to who joins the Swedes in the LAN finals for me.
I'm rooting for ex-Wizards now.
XMG.
My XMG esports.
Yeah, just think of Seabid, and you'll think of my XMG.
What? I can't hear anything going on at all. They're very loud, XMG. If you're ever at a CB or a Gamescom, you know exactly what we're talking about with that one. So it looks like we're about to get ready with this one. Apparently, the admin's telling me that they're underway with the knife, so that should catch up here on GoTV in just a few moments. And the question is, Paul, what are we going to do for the knife today? Because I've got I've got nothing to hold over your head this week.
No, you haven't. So if anyone's got suggestions as to how me and Joe should do knife rounds this evening, as ever, pop it into the Twitch chat, or alternatively you can message us on Twitter. We are at Paul Challoner 1L and at Joe_Miller 1_.
Paul Challoner. So here we go then, knife round. Gonna kick things off. Germans can't say Challoner, they only say Challoner for some reason.
They do. Go on then.
And, well, I'm just going to commentate it normally, because that's a bit of a novelty somehow.
Yeah, actually, you're right.
That we've not really seen up until now, as I'm going to switch on auto director as well, because we all know that we're all rubbish. There's a smoke put down, which everyone's like, oh my god, who threw a smoke? You can't smoke. Smoke's not allowed, but at the end of the day, both teams can't see through it. So that's it doesn't really make that much of a difference. So now they've decided, okay, let's get back to mid, and let's just have this standoff again. As right, already getting stabbed up here. Forrest's actually going to be the first one to go down, but back and forth as Solek, I was going to say, going to be trapped in there. Only 2 men left now, but there's only 1 man left for NiP. That's going to be Get Right.
And he's got all 3, by the way, so far.
Who's running away with his tail between his legs. And he's dead. And he's dead.
Yeah. What are the more... No, it wasn't interesting. I was going to say it was one of the more interesting.
I flipped a coin before that, and Alternate won the coin toss. Coin toss.
The coin toss.
The coin toss.
I'm glad you didn't get that word mixed up when you did Friar Tuck. So, we are about to... Walsh Joe's thinking about that one. We are about to get underway in our first game in Group A of the RaidCall EMS 1 playoffs, group stages.
They are technically called playoffs, but they are a group stage. So basically, we know it doesn't make much sense, but we didn't make that up. Hopefully, we'll I don't know. playoffs, group stage, whatever you want to call it. That's where we are.
Yeah, we'll end up calling it both this evening, so just forgive us. We really hope you enjoy the coverage tonight. We're back tomorrow night as well. It's a Tuesday and a Wednesday, which is a little bit unusual. We're usually Wednesdays and Thursdays. We've changed it up this week just to confuse you. And, not really, but Tuesdays and Wednesday this week. And then in 2 weeks from now, Group C and D. Not the nuclear disarmament group, it's Group C and D. And that will be with Joe, but not with me.
C and D with Joe, but not with me.
Yeah, there was a rhyme in there, and I couldn't find it. I was a poet, and I didn't know it. We are on the way. This is round 1, pistol time on Inferno. And just a little stat on the pistols before we get kicking off. 64.19% are won by T-side on all maps since the patch. So that Glock nerf didn't really help. And there's proof of it. Freiberg opens things up, picks himself up a frag on Sonic as the flashes come round the corner. They're going to blast in towards this bomb site right now and try and get the bomb planted at the goldfish pond. But no, M&L struck out twice. Brilliant shots from him with a second on Freiberg was a headshot. Fifth Laren comes back in for the revenge frag as we stay with Auto Director getting the bomb plant down. And now Felix will try and come in round the back. He's got one down there behind the generator. Will pick up that frag on Forest. Now it's a 2 versus 2. Big pistol round this one. NiP, bomb planted, ticking away. Flash comes right round into ruins. That's a perfect flash from them. Now, smoke goes in. Flash going to follow it up as well. Now, have they got the balls to go in and get this diffused quickly? No, they haven't. Get right, still waiting. Waits for one. Nails the first one. Can he get the second one here? First pistol round on its way to the Swedes. Bombs ticking down. This is not going to be going to the Germans. And NiP start as they mean to go on. 1-0.
Good start for them as well. Really solid round. I see that 2 kills for M&L. I mean, he was the only one that really offered much up in that round from Alternate there. On the back of the site, they flashed, taking that man out of the back, and I guess they figured that it was pretty much clear that site after that happened. He, did well. It's got to be said there as well. He did a decent job of holding what he was really given in terms of resources, but after that fell pretty quickly afterwards. This round, of course, we are going to be seeing better weapons for NiP. There's a couple of AKs mixed in. Galil's in there as Forest. He's going to take out Felix for the first frag of this one. He did lose a lot of health in the process, but losing 99 health, not enough to get the other kill. You don't get any points for that one. Let's see then how this one all develops. Crystal going to have a peek here towards middle, spots one man, and actually did some damage in there. That was Fifferent. But that's probably, in the grand scheme of things, not going to make much of a difference. Let's have a look at Rak, who's in a position where nothing's happening, so thanks for that, Auto Director.
See, even automatons get it wrong sometimes.
Well, here we go. Flash is going to come over. The hit is on, and they're going to take down M&L first of all. He was a bit of a hero in that last round, but not this time around. It's now only Crystal remaining, 1 versus 5. If he pulls this off, Paul will shave his head. And, well, I don't think you're in much trouble with that one, Paul. That's why I can safely make bets to your Fifthler and finishes him 2-0.
I don't like this whole making bets on my behalf scenario, even when it is a 1v5 on an eco. Luckily for me, it was made against Ninjas in Pyjamas, who were fully stocked up with weapons that just saved my hair, which was nice. Thanks, NiP. Round 3 then, and another save for Alternatives. Crystal tries to make his way into mid, just a little bit of chip off his health to 96. M&L's going to get the same treatment at the top of Banana. He's joined by Solek there as well. Some players lag, some don't. It's quite strange, isn't it?
Yeah, not
Still
sure what
haven't
it's all
quite
about.
fixed that GoTV issue with some players lagging, some not. Get right, just making his way through the Whitehorse boiler right now. He's going to pick up the frag on Rak here, no problem whatsoever. Headshot comes in, 1 disposed of, 4 to find. Playing this one a little bit slow, just a little bit of an anti-eco here. The boost up onto the balcony for Crystal was sussed out by Fifth Laren without Crystal getting a single shot off. And 2 down, 3 to find.
He was just sunning himself on the balcony.
He was, just up there for a bit of a sun, bit of a tequila, bit of a chill. They drop a third. Bomb is about to go down on that B site, so this should be a safe round for the world champions. M&L now waiting out, and CT Spawn picks himself up 1 frag on Forest, but Fifth Laren with the revenge frag gets rid of him. So just Sonic left. Looks like he Just wants to hold on to his gun right now. Freiburg, I thought he was going to advance down Banana, but no, it looks like he's going to just check mid here. Get Right's waiting for any sign of any ninja defuse that might come in, but it's not coming. And Ninjas in Pyjamas are going to be leaders in control. 3-0 after 3.
Yep, 3 out of 3. Job done for them after Pistol. And now we're finally going to see what Alternate's actually made of. Whether they can put up any kind of, well, stand in this game. Because obviously up until now, I mean, you can't read into it too much after 3 rounds. NiP, though, the heavy favourites coming into this game, which I think when you say that pretty much against every team that NiP are favourites, because that just is the case. They are that good.
Yep.
As we do have Crystal with that AWP. In fact, double orb defense here coming out of Alternate, and it's going to be the first kill coming in there on towards Freiburg. Valuable first pick there for the Germans. But now, what are we going to see after that one? Crystal just running around there, and he's going to take his position on the right-hand side of the mid as the smokes come in as well. Solek, of course, will be open over towards Banana, and that's the real danger, that they're going to be able to lock off 2 major areas, the middle and that Banana. But if you lose that AWP in either of those areas, that opens the floodgates, the Swedish floodgates, as we are going to see Exist taking down Solek. That AWP not able to do its job, as MNL does bring one back. He's going to flash out, gets back behind the boxes. Exist is actually coming in onto him. MNL got to do a big job here. I'm not sure if he's spotted Exist. He has now. Gets the kill onto him, but he will fall here at the back just about. Forrest made a bit of a hash of that one, but he got the kill nonetheless. It's now a 2 versus 3. Forrest very much hurt. Get Right is there as well, though. And when I say 2 versus 4, it's kind of just more because of Get Right and Forrest. We can't ever count him out with 12 HP. As we say that, Get Right is going to take out Crystal. Rack now last man alive.
He's going to go for the ninja
Smoke
here,
going in, Flash going to go over the top, and he knows where Get Right's position is. He is going to get himself on towards the bomb. Can he get the defuse off? Where is he? They're trying to knife him. Oh my god, what are you doing, NiP? Why are they messing around like that? I have no idea. And that is round 4 going to Alternate.
Oh my goodness. Goodness me. As soon as he threw the first smoke onto the bomb, then threw that flash up in the air, ran in for the second one, I knew he was going to go for the ninja. Goes into the smoke, gets the start of the defuse, and I think one of them knew he was in there, but they certainly didn't do their best to get rid of him until it was too late. Gun down in the middle of the defuse, but it did click off. And the German EPS champions from last season have got themselves on the board in their first bye round. It's 3-1. And, well, will that prove to be critical? We'll have to find out as we go through this game. 1 for 1 at the start of this map, so we're at 4 versus 4 right now after that mid-exchange. There was a grenade foul at the feet of Crystal after he disposed of Freiburg. Right, just defending this B bomb site right now as Forrest comes around. They've got 3 men back halls here, so it does look as if this B site will be the hit point. Get Right goes in, gets the entry kill on Felix. Fifth Laren drops down to take out Rack now as well. Exist disposes of MNL, and they've fallen like flies. Only Solek remaining. Bomb planted, 4v1, and it's game over in round 5. This one's going the way of Sweden.
Yeah, that last round just showing that even the biggest stars can sometimes bring their inner donkey out. I'm just going to run in here and knife him because he's only got 5 seconds, so if I mess that one up, yeah, whatever. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, might not really come to haunt him.
No, and early in the game as well. I mean, if this was later in the game, I'd be like, wow, that was pretty stupid. But this early in the game, 3-0 up, I don't know. I mean, yeah, it was a mistake, no doubt about it, but I like the fact that they're willing to have a bit of fun. I like the fact that they're showing some flamboyant Counter-Strike, and you can't take that away from them.
Well, yeah, you're right in that one.
Yeah, because otherwise we'd moaning, oh, they're so boring. Oh, we could have gone for the knife there and the ninja. No, it's so boring. They just killed him and got the defuse. How boring. So, I don't know. They can't win either way, can they? They're the best team in the world, so, you know, if they have a bit of fun as well, I'm okay with that.
Well, I'm sure Get Right and Forrest will admit that they did in fact show their inner donkeys in that one. It's Crystal actually rushing down there. He's going to go head-to-head with Get Right, which, you know, 9 times out of 10, it doesn't matter who you are. It's not really a good thing to do, go head-to-head with someone like Get Right. He gets himself 2 there as well.
And took both heads off.
Yeah, I would say head-to-head more like shoulders to head in the end. So here we go then. NiP going to get the bomb down over on 8. Rack and Solek, the last 2 men alive for alternate, and NiP just showing that, well, after what happened in round number 4, it's certainly not affected them that much as Get Right trying to pick out seagulls there from the skies of Inferno. And they're going to try and hunt these final 2 men down who are hiding inside of that B site. All 4 men coming in from alternate. Solek going to be camped right at the back, which is like really an obvious position for anyone, I'd say, hiding in this B bomb site. And here we go. NiP going to come around. There's the flash put in. They now know where Solek's position is as Rat goes down, and they find Solek at the end as well. Great hunting from NiP.
Yeah, that's not good. Alternate going to be bereft of cash for round 7, which should mean a conversion for Ninjas in Pyjamas to make this a 6-1. But count nothing out because pistols and ecos, in particular in CSGO, have been a lot more balanced than they were in either 1.6 or Source, or God forbid the Riot Shield infested CZ. Crikey. That one came out. Oh, hello. Rack and Sonic have picked up a frag apiece. That's what we were talking about. Forrest and Freiberg, both surprised. And this has turned round to become, instead of a 5v5 with guns, it's now a 3v5. And they've got themselves 2 AKs amongst those 5 as well. So it's more like a 3v2. It's still a slight advantage to NiP. But they also have to get the bomb planted. Less than a minute to go here in round 7. Don't want to lose too many of these on an eco. That's for sure. MNL still trying to protect the bomb site as the grenades rain down on top of them. They've all had a little bit of health chipped away, actually, with the exception of Felix, who's now trying to go back in towards this bomb site. Bomb is about to be locked down. Solek does pick up the first frag. Fifth Laren and Get Right come back, though. Get Right's going to get himself a second in a row. Might get himself a third. No, Rack picks him off long range with that pistol. It's now a 2v1, all on Fifth Laren here. And Rack and MNL. I don't know why they didn't play. I think they were surprised by how easy it was to get back in there. Fifth Laren now trying to make his way over towards that bomb. And sees that it's down there. He's got 10 seconds to go. Now, is he going to go for the safe plant? He is. Rack's going to come in and pick up an easy kill. And Fifth Laren, well, you could argue why he didn't do the fake plant and come off that straight away. And knowing that they were so close to him, he knew he couldn't have got that bomb down, surely. And alternate pick up their second round, and it's on an eco, Joe.
Yeah, and again, that's a round where NiP definitely should have come out on top. I mean, at the start, there was a 1 man behind the car, you 1 man across the side. Freiberg, you know, he just walked straight up there, straight through the middle of them. Didn't even check out where they could possibly be hiding, and Solek is going to go down there. He's done a little bit of damage, but not really as much as they would have been wanting. Here comes Freiberg. MNL will get the kill on him. Here exists, who's going to be sprayed down as well so far. MNL being a real superstar in defending this B site, and that gives us a 3-on-4 advantage. Alternate push going to come around here. Can MNL get away? Yes, he can. He's still alive. He's got the flash in there, and that's going to slow them down even further. Crystal falls in middle, and it's now 3 versus 3. Still a minute of the round to go. You can tell LDLC aren't playing in this one. That'll only be the last 5 seconds in a round where you get to see action. But it works for them, so what am I to pick fun of it? And NiP gonna get themselves in here towards that A site. Still a little bit worried as a flash just drops right in front of them, which is not quite how they planned it. And here is Rack. Look, they've not checked balcony. How much more of an obvious position can you have in the A bomb site than the balcony? They've lost the bomb planter here. They've got 28 seconds to go. Forrest's going to go back around the apartments here. Rack is actually down in the big pit. Get Right picks him off. So finally we're back to a 2-on-2. Get Right gets himself the second in a row. Plant the bomb. 15 seconds. It's just around the corner. MNL is going to be there ready and waiting. Actually, Get Right is going to be shot in the back here by MNL. Can he get Forrest? Yes, he can. Brilliant play again from MNL. But again, NiP, I think they're not on top of their game here, honestly.
I think you're absolutely right. They lost those 2 rounds previously through their own mistakes. That round, there was a whole, it was littered with mistakes. Now, I don't want to pick on them. These are great players, right? And they're human. They make mistakes. But when they do something cataclysmically wrong like they did in that last round, you need to pick them up for it. Now, the first thing is this. Just where we're seeing MNL just there, Forrest threw a grenade which didn't go anywhere. It actually fell off the top of the roof, didn't hurt anyone. Then he threw a smoke which actually hit the chimney and came back onto him. Then they had the flash where they flashed themselves, and then they tried to plant without checking balcony, and then Get Right planted in quad when he knew there was a player left. So 5 mistakes in a row in that round. It's easy for us because we can see it from here and they can't. But seriously, some of those mistakes, you just don't see them from these guys, and that's what makes it so extraordinary. We're in round 9. NiP lead 5-3, but really, arguably, should have been 8-0.
Yeah.
So, is this a sign of things to come? Because if it is, a team like Alternate, who have played and played and played in Counter-Strike Go, will punish you if they're given the chance. And look at this, Rack again on balcony. Picks off Get Right, didn't even look. Crystal's going to get himself a alt frag as well. Finally, Forrest gets involved to pick off Crystal at CT Arch. Solek then replies back, and again, the Germans have the advantage here. 4 versus 2. 4v1. Rack gets the kill on Exist. And this will be a gun round lost by NiP, and they'll be on a save after this. And it'll be suddenly 5-5 after this one. At the moment, it's just a round in between. And what looked like an easy, straightforward first game victory in Group A is now starting to teeter on the brink.
Well, Alternate are no slouches. I don't want to take anything away by focusing maybe more on what NiP have done wrong in this one. But Alternate, they've not really done that much special.
Nope.
As you said, their positions have not been, hugely innovative or anything like that. They've come up with some brilliant singular performances, some individual play from the likes of MNL, from Rack, great positioning from them, which have really separated them in this one. And it's now 5-4. Alternate on the CT side could bring us level in this one. NiP have bought up this round. Not too much cash available for them if they end up losing this one. Solek has got the first of the round. NiP looking like they're going to do a big push over towards this B site. Get Right is the only man going over to A, which is something they do fairly often as well. That whole one-man distraction thing to keep as many defenders as they can over by this one site, and there is Get Right going down towards Felix, and now NiP with 50 seconds have decided, okay, let's rotate back around, let's go over to this A site. I mean, all 5 men are still up for Alternate, and all of them decently healthy as well. MNL the lowest, still with over half of his HP remaining in this one. As far as here on your screen, just working his way down. He's got Felix off towards the side. Going to peek out again. As this comes around, Felix gets one. Is then going to be dropped afterward. The flash comes down to try and slow that push from NiP, and it's still 4 versus 2. Forrest going to go up towards that CT archway as he just avoids a little bit of fire. He's going to spot Rack there, who drops down from the balcony. Fifth Run comes across the side. Rack will take out Fifth Run, and Forrest is now in the bomb site, but he's got no bomb with him. He's going to have to pull off something amazing here. That's Rack down. But he's got 2 seconds, he doesn't have a bomb, and there is the time running out for NiP, and Forrest going to get shut down right at the end by MNL, 5-5.
Well, they're now going to be on a save after they bought in the last round. Just had enough money to buy full buy last time round. Well, you know what, they might just buy again here, yeah. Yeah, they will, and this will be their last round with the money, that's for sure. And we're all tied up at 5-5. The 2 matches they've lost this season in the RaidCall EMS 1, 16-12 both times, as Crystal absolutely flattens Fifth Laren on T-Stairs. They've lost 2 on 16-12, 1 to ESC in Cup 4, knocked them out in round 1. And earlier on in the season in Cup 2, and Faculty, the Germans. Actually, in Cup 1, that was 16-12 against NiP. So I wonder if they've exchanged some strategies here on Inferno. It's the best map that Alternate could have had for them, as Exist gets rid of Solek, and they've got a man advantage here with the bomb planted. So round 11 looking a little luckier here for the Swedes. Trying to get themselves back on touch, and that was fantastic from Crystal. He's got 2 this round now. 3 to find. Freiburg now stuck at the generator inside that bomb site. And is that 3? It is. Crystal is absolutely on fire here. 3 out of 3. Freiburg gets dropped. Crystal gets a fourth at the back of the site. And Alternate are going to come in and get a defuse, and they will take the lead, thanks to some brilliance from the AWP from Crystal.
Brilliance is an understatement there. Those two shots were so good from Crystal. And let's not forget, he actually opened up the kills with the initial one there down towards that T ramp as well. So really strong round coming out of Alternate. Crystal certainly seems to be on fire today. And that's what they're going to need in this game. In all of their games, to be honest, tonight here. But you know, we kind of counted every team out of the first spot. We said NiP are going to be the top favourites for this one, but if Alternate can win game number 1 against NiP, this blows this group completely open. As I forgot to turn on auto direct there again. In the meantime, Solik is in fact picked up a kill, as did Crystal. So we missed 2 great AWP shots. And as we switch around to Freiburg, we see him take one. There is MNL. He's going to go down. So 3 for 2 in this. Freiburg getting 2 of them. And it looks like they're going to push around. Crystal is going to be ready and waiting with that AWP. He misses the shot this time around. And Felix now going to be backing up. Get Right finally comes in towards the site. Felix with a fantastic shot as Crystal will go down to Freiburg. And it is now a 2-on-1. What can Freiburg do? Felix just around that corner up towards CT spawn. The bomb flashing on the floor there. Is Rack thinking about having a peek in the end? Decides against it. Flash is coming out towards CT spawn. Did he? Yeah, he did get the bomb. If I open my eyes, I can see that. And he's got 73 health. He's got 25 seconds. He's going to get blind there first of all.
Actually, Felix got blind as well.
Yeah. Time's ticking away. Now they're further going for the plant. They're going to come around the corner. There is Rack. Finishes it off. Bomb did get planted barely. And they are going to be picking up the defuse in this one. First of all, though, they want those AWPs back. There we go. Defuse coming in. Felix picked up the AWP, and that will be going back over towards Crystal at the end of the round. You throw that around and then throw it in the last second.
Yeah.
Well, that's 7-5. Alternate one way or one round away from a guaranteed first half lead.
They are indeed. And it's funny actually, Inferno is one of the more balanced maps. In fact, it's the second most balanced map in CSGO right now. Only Inferno statistically has a better balance of CT and T side. So any advantage you can pick up on CT side, an 8-7 is pretty traditional in terms of the averages. So, you know, that's fine. They're 1 round away from guaranteeing at least that. Anything better than that against NiP of all teams will be absolutely stupendous. And we might also note that NiP have not won a round in 7 rounds. No, 6. It was 3-1, then 5-1. So 6 rounds in a row from Team Alternate. Didn't think I'd be saying that this evening. 2-round lead at the moment. It could be more. 3 to go, including this one. Freiburg just rotating back round. They've got Exist down to 16 points of health here, who looks like he might just be the point man moving towards the quad area. Actually, they're going to push. Actually, all 5 of them are going to try and push around there as Freiburg just gets a little bit of health lost. Oh, Exist turned his back just at the wrong moment and almost lost his life. He's only got 16 health as it is. But they've made some really big advances into this covered site now. 1 man in pit, 1 man on site is dropped by Fiflaren. And he will be gotten rid of by Sonic, who's got himself a double here. Bomb about to be planted, and is planted, as we still haven't switched away from Auto Director. Come on, Auto Director, what are you doing? Sonic now has already got himself 2. He's got to find himself 2 more. Exist and Freiburg still left. Freiburg gets himself a 2nd, and then comes in and gets a 3rd. And Freiburg and Fiflaren, it's double Fs for the NiPs as they now pull one back, 6-7.
Yeah, and that's always the danger with NiP. It doesn't matter how far behind they are, how, you know, uncoordinated they're looking, and off the game they're looking. They've got amazing talent across the board.
Do you know, I can hear Heaton almost in my brain going, shut up, Red Eye, we're just trying to make it interesting for everyone.
Hi, I'm Heaton, and we're just trying to make it interesting for everyone. So here we go then. There's a kill from Crystal. He might even get himself more here. Pings a grenade down towards alt middle. Finally, they're going to deal with him. And he will go down, causing a bit of a nuisance. But Solek still has that AWP. He's still going to be a nuisance in this round going forward. With just over a minute left on the clock. Still plenty of grenades and flashes across. When I say plenty of grenades, there's one with Rack and one with Get Right. But flashes are plenty still. As we go down to 50 seconds, MNL just checking there inside middle as the flash comes around. There was no one there. And Freiburg now, along with the rest of NiP, headed up towards that B bomb site, which so far Solek and MNL have been absolutely brilliant at defending. This time around, it's going to be only Solek, and with that AWP, once they get past a certain point, it's going to be really hard to hold on, especially if you turn your back towards the door like that one. Get Right, just about to light the Molotov. They're going to throw that into the ruins here as the flashes come over the top as well.
Yeah.
Boost onto the door frame for Freiburg. He's just going to sit there and wait to pierce the heads of anyone that decides to come through. But as it goes, we see that Alternate have, in fact, all backed off here and are going to be looking to save their weapon for the final round of this first half. Don't think we're going to see much more, if anything, at the end. Actually, Get Right coming as close as they possibly can get at this stage to catching out the Alternate guys at the end. But it's not going to happen. That's going to be a tied game, 7-7.
Yeah, it does mean, of course, that we will get the 8-7 at the half. Which way it goes, we don't know yet, but it's definitely going to be 8-7. That's the only thing I can guarantee you, which pretty much backs up our thoughts of Inferno being arguably one of the, well, actually statistically, being one of the most balanced maps in CSGO right now. I suppose you could argue that NiP probably threw 3 rounds away, so this could have been a 10-5 to them, but take nothing away from Alternate. They've had some monster rounds, MNL in particular popping up, and then Crystal with that 4-man AWP also winning them around. And we'll have a look at the scoreboard at the end of this, but I think Get Right's having another monster, but yeah, that's kind of par for the course. We expect him to do that now. Oh, little exchange of shots through the balcony, and some hopping up and down. Eventually is lost, and Crystal gets dropped just after that, so that was a 2-for-2 exchange. Felix having to back away now. They are going to try and push this quad area. Forest now moving up towards quad. They've got one man inside Boiler going for white rooms. And it's Fiflaren who's going to get a face full of M4s. No, he's going to win the battle against Felix. And now, Alternate are in a bit of trouble here. Solek's only got 13 points of health. MNL's going to rotate across to try and help him. He's going to get dropped. Is he? No, he fights back. Picks up a double. Forest and Fiflaren are both dropped. And suddenly it's turned on a sixpence. And Alternate now have a 2 versus 1. Freiburg, last man alive here. They're both low on health. Picks up the first one. Is this a clutch play from Freiburg right at the end of the half? 25 seconds to go. It is! It is from Freiburg. He wins the round, and Ninjas in Pyjamas are back in business. 8-7 at the half.
Crazy final round there as well, and quite fitting for how this game's gone up until now. Let's give you a quick rundown of the scoreboard and see how it's all happened up until now. Get Right, 15 for 8, 5th through 11, 9th, 5th for 11, 9. My tongue's not correctly balanced today.
Sorry, I
somehow.
don't speak.
13-10 for Freiburg, 10-11 for Forest, and 7-9 for Exist. And for Alternate, Rack 10-10, 13-10 on MNL, 10-14 on Crystal, 7-11 on Felix, and is 7-11 for Solek. So here we go then. Second half, pistol round coming up with the Swedes having a 8-7 lead. And they've been phenomenal on pistols. I think it was after Cup 1.
Apart from Cup
so
1
Cup
where they
1,
were horrible.
They were a bit dodgy, to say the least. But from that point, they've actually done really, really well. And I think in the games that we've watched them, they've won every single pistol round.
I can't remember them losing a pistol round, actually, since the games, well, of the games we have watched them. In fact, in Cup 2, they were 100% pistols throughout the tournament. I think Cup 4, they won both pistols against ESC, still lost the game. So, yeah, they've been pretty hot to trot when it comes to pistol rounds, except for Cup 1, where I think Heaton tweeted afterwards, in before pistol-only boot camp.
Oh, Exist there. Let's get one. Rack going to come down. Felix going to fall as well. Great play, but the rest of NiP coming in here, and well, it leaves just Solek, He's got a ton of work to do. He's got Get Right to find him. He's going to run out of bullets first. Get Right gets the kill. And that is the second pistol round of the game going over to NiP. That sets them in good stead moving forward. Should be another couple of rounds. But we'll see if Alternate decide to, or are able even, to buy up in round 3. Currently sat on $1,500-ish between them.
Unlikely unless they can get a few more kills than that round, that's for sure. Those of you who are reasonably new to CS, the money system is part of the game. You have to manage it. If you're a good terrorist and you plant bombs and you kill people, then you get rewarded with monies. If you're a CT, then you have to kill the other team, like that. Double from Get Right. He's actually picked up 2 in a row there. Freiburg with a 3rd, a 4th, and a 5th. Yes, I can count. And that was a straightforward eco. Yeah, and just to finish off, if you're a good CT, then you get money for defusing, you get money for killing the opposition and winning the round, and you'll get money as well. So it's a money system as well. Usually we don't see 3rd round buys on CT side, but we do on T side if they can get the bomb planted and get a couple of kills. So that hasn't happened, and therefore we head into round 3 again on an eco.
And they've already been absolutely battered here because of those grenades coming down. See Crystal getting hit by the M4 there as well. So only Rack and MNL are in a decent position in terms of health. There's Freiburg with 1, 2, 3. Can he get any more? Actually, there's a team kill there coming out of Solid. That's not going to help the cause. And Get Right finishes off. 3 rounds out of 3 at the start for NiP. 11-7 overall. And now we're going to see if Alternate can put up any kind of challenge here in the second half on T side.
Yeah, and he's stepping up now or never, really, after being 5-1 down, 7-5 up. Now find themselves 11-7 down. So, that early little bit of panic. Perhaps there was no need for it.
Been a bit of a yo-yo game.
It's been a bit of a yo-yo.
One team needs to pull off that trick where you throw it down to the ground and it stays there. You know what I mean? A bit more
like
stable.
Isn't it called walking the dog? Is that what it's called?
Well, if you move it along the ground as well.
Yeah.
I used to be a yo-yo master when I was a kid.
I heard this. Yeah, I think I might have to get you to do some live yo-yoing at some point in the show. We'll bring a yo-yo in and you can show us how to do it.
My friends used to call me Yo-Yo Jojo. No, they didn't.
That would have been epic, though. Right now, what's epic is Forrest dropping heads. He's picked up the kill on Crystal. It's now a 5v3. Rack's trying to dispose of him. Finally does get rid of him. Oh, Rack, no, don't do that. That was an attack on his own teammate. Might get himself a second on Get Right. Does so. Now, is this one on? 2 versus 2. All men chipped away on health. Rack particularly low, but gets bomb planted now. Flash comes in from Freiburg, has to dodge away, gets nailed by Rack in the back of the head, and now it's all on Fifth Laren in a 2v1. And does Fifth Laren fancy this? Well, he might do, but short range with the AWP, not the most desirable weapon, it has to be said, but he's a monster with it when he wants to be. And now he tries to, well, I think he thought about it for a second and then decided that it was better to run away and save that expensive weapon. Again, for those of you who are new, the AWP, pretty much the most expensive, deadly weapon you can buy. Felix should be okay. Yeah, it does survive the bomb blast, and that will be a round on the board. Again, the first gun round goes the way of the German EPS champions.
Yep, and like everything else that's good in the world, it has to have a great rack, and that's exactly what we saw coming out of Alternate that round. 8-11. I'm sure that's another English-only joke coming out.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were on about Rack a Lamb.
Yeah, exactly. See, well, if it's Lamb, it's gotta be a good rack. That's it. That's how it goes. Fifth run takes the head off Felix though, and that is not what they wanted to see in the early stages of round number 20. Crystal gonna get himself up, and Felix just typing ... Indeed, didn't have a clue what just happened to him. All he knows that he's out of the game.
Yeah, I mean he'd actually sunken into the shallow hole at the bottom of mid, where it's much more difficult to get the kill. But Fifth Laren just had that AWP trained exactly on that spot. And that's what happens. If you practice shooting at specific spots, at specific levels, and you find little markers around the map, you can actually get kills without even knowing someone's there.
So smoke scout. We are going to see alternate coming in here. Second smoke pop by Crystal. Exists still inside of Pit. He's dropped by Crystal finally. 3 versus 4. This nade could be very damaging. Crystal only got 4 HP. Forrest going to come around. M&L will take him, and they've got themselves into the site itself as Solek and Get Right having a bit of a interesting time, let's call it, there inside of the middle. Yeah. Oh, great position from Crystal up there on the wall. He's going to find fifth run, and now it's all on Freiburg. Let's see what he can do. Flash comes in, takes down M&L. Crystal only has 4 HP. If he sneezes into Pit, he'll probably take him down just from that, and it looks like he might try for something a little bit funky here. He's going to put the flashes in position. He is diffusing, but unlike the earlier round from NiP, alternate got this one on lockdown. It's 11-9.
It's funny, actually. The first flash was spot on. Smoke was spot on. Wasn't quite good enough to cover Pit as well from the back, but if he'd flashed over to the back of Pit, it might have been a bit different. Easy for us. We knew where the player was. He didn't. 11-9 now. As alternate again, make this game swing. Back towards the Germans. This is, we're back to the amount of rounds actually. 5th round. Picks up the frag on Solek, who's, at least this time round, it wasn't Felix. Otherwise he'd have been thinking there was some sort of sign out for him that had been, like a hit or something put out on his life by 5th round, because he was the one that was blown away by the AWP in the last round. It didn't make any difference. They still won the round in the end. And this is as many rounds as Alternate have ever had against Ninjas in Pyjamas. They had this result earlier on in the season. In Cup number 1, losing 16-9 to NiP. In Cup number 2, they lost 16-5. They've met 3 times now in the RaidCall EMS 1. Someone's got it in for them. 40 seconds left now of round 21. And action about to be started out into towards this bomb site right now. There is only the AWP, and there's a Get Right with a shotgun, but it's not going to make any difference at all. Rack and Crystal pick up the first 2 kills of the round. And they've only lost 1 man from the opening exchange with that AWP. Rack comes right behind Forrest here. And they're now dropping like flies. But the last 2 men alive do have weapons. But they are in a bit of a sticky situation right now. 5th round, in fact, is stuck in ruins. And is absolutely surrounded by every single member of Alternate. And that frag is going to come in from Rack in the end, who's got himself a 3rd and a free AWP. What a lovely round from him. Meanwhile, Get Right is going to keep that mag shotgun. But it is going to reduce the gap once more, and it's now going to be 11-10. And look at this. Get Right is actually, he might get a couple of exits here, you know, if he's lucky. Well, 3 long-range shots with that is not going to work, my friend. As cheeky as that was, those guns are made for point-blank range headshots, nothing more. 11-10.
Spraying a circle around his actual...
Yeah, I mean, there's nice dots around the walls, but not from that distance.
So here we go then, 11-10. Could have a tie after this one if Alternate play their cards right. Let's see how it's going to go down for them. Again, Solek with that AWP. No AWP this time around, of course, for Ninjas in Pyjamas. Auto Director just wants to stay there, so let's give him a kick in the rear end and get things moving. Forrest actually going to be spotted here and finished off through the wall by Crystal. That was great play. I don't know if he even spotted him before that happened. I mean, the grenade went through, then Forrest kind of ducked from it, which gave his position away. Either way, it's a great opening kill of the round for Alternate. They're 4 away from tying this game up. Of course, if we go to 15-15, to my knowledge, we won't have overtimes. I think draws are in the
legit
occasion.
In the group stage.
Yeah. So here we go. Crystal going to push off balcony. What? How in God's name did he manage that one? I have no idea how he pulled off that kill. When he goes down after, but he was just the distraction over in that A site. Now it's all Freiburg defending here at the backside. He gets racked. Smoke going to be thrown onto his position as he sprays towards the rest of them. Bomb's going to get planted.
Wow.
M&L drop. Felix will finally deal with the problem, and it's now 2 versus 2. Nade comes down. Can Solek find the angle that he needs? Felix off to the side here as well. Both players from NiP going to go through the ruins there at the back. And they need to get moving. This bomb is ticking away very quickly. Solid going to nail Exist to the wall. Last man is going to be Get Right. Solid goes for the shot. Get Right will hop away down the backside. But can he escape from the pressure that they're going to put down on him? Actually, Felix is just running away. Solid will run away as well. Get Right gets over to CT spawn. And that will be all tied up. 11-11.
What do you know? Well, not the kind of start we expected here in Group A of the RaidCall EMS 1. Our first season of the RaidCall EMS 1, of course. We have 3 more to come throughout 2013 with $156,000 up for grabs just in CSGO alone. There's also Dota 2 going on this evening as well. They're also in the playoffs. And in Group A, our first match of the evening is level at 11-all between the German EPS champions from last season and the reigning world champions, Ninjas in Pyjamas, and we certainly didn't expect we would be at this position right now after 22 rounds. Get Right moving to back away from that, and they're starting to get a bit sketchy on weapons because only Get Right has a weapon this round in terms of good guns anyway. The rest of his team kitted out with pistols only, but alternate with the anti-strat right now, just to ward off rushing in and getting nailed by a collection of 3 or 4 pistoled up Swedes as MNL disposes of Exist. Forrest replies back. MNL picks up his second. Crystal the third of the round. Fryback almost got himself one there, and then Felix deals with him at short range. So Get Right, the only man to remain alive. He was the only man with a gun as well. He had the FAMAS, of course, and is quite low on health here. Pretty sure he's not going for it.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is, Paul, if he's going to win this round, he's got to get right in there.
Yeah, well, he has to get in there right away. I mean, there's 4 players.
You almost missed that one. You
no,
almost missed that one.
I was trying to go through. I was trying to be professional, Mr. Miller. No good doing that when there's puns galore around. I've done plenty with Get Right over the years, actually. I think I did Get Right, Gets It Done. And that's one of my favourites. Get right, get left, get everywhere. Yeah, we've done
Get lost.
Get lost.
Go on.
Yeah. We've done plenty of puns around Get Right. He has the perfect name for it right now. So alternate now lead 12-11. This tipsy-topsy yo-yo Jojo match continues.
Yeah, honestly, the way it's going, alternate look like they're the better team here, to be honest with you. I mean, yes, NiP, they had an 8-7 lead, but it was a ropey one. They had a few mistakes in it. The alternate are that kind of team. Yes, you might not count them up there in the top 3 in Europe, but they are certainly able to pull off upsets. And this would be one of them if they did manage to get things rolling, considering the fact that NiP have won both pistol rounds and the following 2 rounds both times. That's 6 rounds that they've had alone. Yep. Alternate have done a fantastic job in this game to actually come out and now be ahead. Forrest here waiting outside of the boiler room. Is going to get peeked here by Crystal, and Crystal gets the better of him. That was brilliantly done. In fact, Forrest didn't even get a shot off there. Couldn't see the wood for the trees. And now it's only 4 men left alive. Forrest says ... similar to what we saw from Felix earlier. Just wasn't ready for it. Apparently he was lagged out. That's what I say every time as well, Forrest, don't worry. As the Flashers going to get ready to come in. It's going to be an A push. I
believe you more than I believe you.
Yeah, that's definitely true. As we are going to see the action coming down. Exist gets himself 2. Fifth run comes in with another one. Can they hold this bomb site down? Exist is the only one that's really low, and there's a grenade bouncing in. Exist goes down. Solid going to be chased here by Get Right, who deals with the threat brilliantly there with his FAMAS. Ninjas in Pyjamas pick one up in a round which looked really, really promising for alternate, but NiP again showing their strength, tied up.
Yeah, sort of fell away from them after Exist got that double, which gave the Swedes the man advantage, and they pushed that one home nicely. So
a draw could really mess this group up as well. I mean,
any kind of result that isn't a Ninjas in Pyjamas win would throw this group into chaos. It really would. As Get Right seems determined to not let that happen. Opens things up with a kill on Solak. Crystal trying to make his way back up center. Exchanging fire in the mid here. Felix has got himself a double on Forrest and Fifth Lauren. Only Freiberg pinning up any resistance. He's now being pushed as well, but Exist then comes back. It's now a 3 versus 2. Make that a 3 versus 1. Actually, it's not going quite as well as I thought. Crystal does get the frag on Exist, but now in a 2v1. And he'll get dropped by Get Right. So, normal service is resumed. Do not adjust your television set. Ninjas in Pyjamas lead 13-12.
Yeah, 5-5 here in the second half, so, you know, it's still very back and forth, this game. Still open for either team for the victory. This time around, though, the problem being that Alternate, they've not really got much with them. Solek actually has an AWP. There's an AK with Crystal. Actually, I might have just only seen the pistols that they had. Yeah, there's a Galil, so it's pretty decent for them, in all honesty. I just thought they were all carrying pistols and wondered what had really gone wrong with that one. Rack actually going to drop Forrest for the first frag in this round. And Alternate really need one here. NiP obviously have put a couple together on the board, and you can't let the train get rolling here. Momentum is the name of the game. Settle back into their defensive position. Rack just putting a bit of pre-fire out on towards the end of apartments. And we've gone past the 1 minute remaining mark, which Alternate means that they're going to have to start making a bit of a move. Crystal actually down to just 14 HP after that exchange. Not coming out exactly how they'd planned. Really Exist didn't lose a whole lot. 26 health was removed from him. Definitely won that trade out. The time is, of course, still ticking. 36 seconds left. There's Get Right dropping MNL at the end of Banana. And a bit of a rotation coming in because Alternate have pushed right through the backside, through that CT spawn. There is Solek picking off Get Right as well. And all of a sudden, NiP fall into pieces in this one. And as we said, Alternate, they didn't really have the cash as Fifth are going to take out Solek. Exist will drop as well. Will drop Crystal as well. And now the bomb finally going to get planted by the Germans. But can they hold the bomb site? It's 2 versus 2. Health advantage with NiP. They're going to slowly but surely work their way in from that main entrance as Felix is going to be the first peeker. He gets Exist. It's now all with Fiffler, and he's got an AWP. Switches that out for the AK that Exist had previously dropped, but he's going to have a very difficult job on his hands. Felix gets the better of him, and that is a tied game again at 13-all.
Wow, I think if this match could be summed up in one round, it was probably that round right there, because it was just up and down. First of all, Alternate look like they have control. Then Ninjas in Pyjamas come back into it with 2 really quick kills, and they have the advantage. And then Alternate come back and win the round. Ridiculous, really. This is what makes Counter-Strike so much fun and so interesting to watch. It's 13-13. And if you are just joining us, you've missed a cracker. This one is the opening match of Group A in the RaidCall EMS 1 playoffs.
We should mention as well that MyXMG and Nexus are playing at the same time.
They are playing
I'd
right
imagine
now.
that they're even finished by now, so we'll try and keep you updated with those scores later.
Yeah, indeed. That's a good point as well, Joe. When we get to the third game of the night, we will have both games on screen and we'll flip backwards and forwards if it makes any difference to who goes through, that's for sure. Right now, well, NiP just struggling to win their opening game, which really everyone that isn't German would probably have them down as the major favourite to win. Making hard work of this right now. Time running down a little bit here for the opening frag. Finally comes in from Felix, who's had a bit of a monster second half. Get Right replying back on Crystal. 2 men have lost a lot of health. Rack and MNL here. Advantage Sweden. As the time ticks down ever more. Still the bomb not planted. Still they haven't decided which bomb site to go to. 20 seconds remaining. Rack now trying to push mid. Only has 18 points out. Couldn't get the clip on there either. 15 seconds left. Still 13-13. Still all tied up. Finally going to make on a move on the bomb site. Freiberg gets a double. Get Right with a third. And this one is going the way of NiP. Get Right finishes things off right at the end of the round for his hat-trick. And just too long, too stalled for Team Alternate. They are down by 1 at 14-13.
Yeah, and of course, Alternate, if they want to win this game, have to win all 3 rounds in a row now. There's no overtime. It's group stage, which means we can have draws, which would definitely throw a bit of a spanner in the works, I think, in terms of the final standings of the day. Solek is going to go back here. Forgot to buy something there. A flash, I guess, is what he bought in the end, as Exist is going to get himself one. Dispatches a grenade down mid, which does a smidgen of damage to MNL. Can they do any more? Here is Crystal, picks off FIFA, and Forest is going to go down as well. So Alternate, even though they're on an eco here, are doing brilliantly. Crystal now has that M4. There's an AK for Felix, and this is bad news for NiP here. We've got Exist defending this A site. Is he going to get the kill? Yes, he is. Just about onto Felix. MNL will die as well, and it's now 2 versus 3. The advantage goes back to NiP. The bomb is down in the A site. They're spamming up towards balcony. Crystal didn't get any damage from that one as Get Right adjusts his spray just in time to catch Solik out. And now Crystal with 4 points of health. Get Right finishes him through the wall. And that is 15-13 match point for NiP.
Yes, indeed. Thought this one would have been over long ago. It might just be over in the next round. Let's just have a quick look through and see. They should be okay money-wise. But will be really, well, obviously it doesn't matter. They are in their last round. They have to win this one to keep it alive. But it's not started well. Double grenade down Banana, gets rid of MNL. Get Right picks up the frag. And 4 men to find here for NiP to claim their first match in Group A. And you wouldn't have been so sure about it if you've been watching the last 10 rounds, as Freiburg gets himself one, couldn't get the second one. A little bit of lag there. Get Right gets his second of the round, and now they've got 2 more men to find. Alternate now dropping like flies. Double flash off the wall, goes over the top of the sandbags. Crystal, though, pops around the corner and picks up the frag on Get Right. So we're at 3 versus 2 now in favour of the Swedes. And Rack and Crystal still looking like Banana might just be the way they want to move here. Crystal is edging slowly but surely up. There is actually no one around here on his right-hand side, but there is a man to his left in ruins. Exist is over on the other side in B. And there is a man who is just making his way towards Forest right now. There is an exchange of gunfire over the other side of the map. Fifth Laren disposes of Crystal, and Rack now will be the last man alive to save it all. He's going to pick up the first one on Fifth Laren. Should be able to get this bomb planted here. They're both going to have to rotate back over from the A bomb site. It's going to cost them a vital 5 to 10 seconds. That'll allow Rack to set himself here. Flash perfectly placed inside that generator in ruins. And now they've got to move together here. They aren't going to go through ruins either, so I think they might think that he's there. Now, brilliant flash in from Rack, gets the second one. Now, can he clutch this one? This would be an amazing clutch. It was a 3v1. It's now a 1v1. Bomb still planting. He's got the chance to win this here. Oh, Forrest comes up brilliantly, but has he got time for the defuse? Just about. I think he just about gets it. And despite a fabulous last round from Rack, it's NiP that wins 16-13.
That was a really close ending there, and Rack, you know, you've got to give him his credit for getting that far in that last round.
Played it perfectly. Couldn't have done any more.
Yeah, couldn't have really done any more, that's for sure. Forrest obviously getting the better of him to win the game. So, we are going to be going into a quick break here. Of course, when we come back, we will have our second game of the day, which Paul is going to be.
Yes, we're going to do alternate versus.
Caught you off guard.
Well, no, I was going to catch up on the last game of the group stage, which was Nexus.
Yeah, we should definitely do that.
We'll do that just afterwards.
Okay.
The next game will be alternate versus a Nexus, which, if you find out that a Nexus have won their opening game, alternate and Nexus could actually be the group decider. Big game. Either way, it's a huge game.
Yeah, and that is, in fact, the case.
Yeah, okay.
So we're going to spoil that right now. The next is 16-7 over my XMG. Okay. So next game coming up is going to be alternate versus a Nexus. It will decide. I mean, yeah, okay, my XMG could yet now win 2 games in a row.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's not just get carried away. NiP just won 16-13 against Alternate, a team that they'd beaten 16-5 just 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And 16-9 in Cut 1 as well. So much closer than we expected. A bit of rust in between those AKs and M4s of these Swedes, but I'm sure they'll get that cleaned up for match number 2 against the Spanish team.
Yes, we shall be back in just a few moments. Game number 2 of Group A here in the RaidCall EMS 1 coming up shortly.
Professional grade communication tool. The choice of professional teams. Perfect stream viewing experience. Chosen by online streamers. easy-to-use voice messenger service. Chosen by over 12 million gamers.
Communication is always vital when competing in tournaments. Winning a match requires perfect coordination. You cannot win by yourself.
RaidCall. Communication for winners.